In example number 5, we're not going to graph anything, but instead we're going to write an equation of a hyperbola, and it has these two pieces of information. 1, the vertices are at negative 5, 2, and 3, 2. Okay, so those are the vertices, so we can use that to figure out the value of A and also the center. And then we know where the asymptotes are going to have a slope of, so plus or minus 3/2. So we're going to use that piece of information as well. So let's talk about this first bullet, okay? Let's talk about our center. So the center is the midpoint of the two. So I'm going to do one x value plus the other x value divided by 2, and one y value plus the other y value divided by 2. So our center is at the point negative 2 over 2, 4 over 2, which is really negative 1, 2. So there's our center. Okay. Now also, here's what I notice about those points. If I were to plot them real quick, negative 5, 2 would be here, and 3, 2 would be over here. And those are the vertices. So they're going to have to go this way because they're connected by a horizontal line. So I have a horizontal transverse axis, okay? A horizontal transverse axis. That means when I go to write it, I'm going to have the x part first. X minus negative 1 is x plus 1 squared over. And then minus, the y will come second, y minus 2 squared over. And I know it has to equal 1. Right? But now how on earth am I going to figure out A and B? Well, first, what's the distance between these 2 points? This total distance is from negative 5 to 3, which is a total of 8. And we know the transverse axis has a length of 2a. So 8 is equal to 2a, so a must be equal to 4. So 4 squared goes under the first one, so I'm going to put a 16 here. All right, so that's coming from the fact that a is equal to 4. So now what about b? How am I going to figure out b? Well, under the x is a 4, and we know slopes are plus or minus. Under the x is the a, under the x is the a, so under the y is the b. And that ratio has to be 3 over 2. But we don't have a 2 for a, we have a 4. So something over 4 has to give us 3 over 2. Well, if I double this, I get to 4, so I double this to get to 6. So that means b is equal to 6. All right, so that was some reverse engineering going on there, but we essentially figured out that b has to be 6, and 6 squared is 36. So this is the equation that we're going to end up with, okay? So keep in mind that fractions, this is the reduced form of the fraction. So it's not telling me that a and b are necessarily 2 and 3 or 3 and 2. It's telling me that it can be reduced down. They probably have a common factor, which in this case they had a common factor of 2 to get from 6 and 4 down to the 3 over 2. All right, so that's it for problem number 5. One more to go.